our perspective is that this program, though it is the hardest training in the civilian world, is easy compared to a lot of other circumstances that you could face in life, and compared to a lot of the challenges that our forefathers have experienced, right? Take a look at what like the guys at the Battle of the Bulge had to endure, or Valley Forge, right? Or the Spartans at Thermopylae, right? 300 guys fighting for their life over a period of weeks, with just onslaught after onslaught of highly trained warriors trying to kill them. Or Shackleton. You ever heard of Ernest Shackleton? Who took an expedition down to Antarctica and got his ship locked in the ice, and they were kind of fucked. And so they survived for 16 months. Like, they were living and sleeping in wet, nasty, cold, like wool sleeping bags. They were wet and nasty the entire time in sub-zero weather. And he brought every one of his guys home. I mean, if you haven't read about Shackleton and that whole thing, it's put it on your list. Start reading books about survival, like Unbroken is another one. So, who's read Unbroken here? Good. Fantastic, unreal, and it humbles you and it makes you realize that this 50 hours is nothing. At least do it in honor of those guys. You know what I mean? Louis Zamperini was his name, right? Mm-hmm. Freaking guy, they spent 63 days at sea, lost, right? Eating the occasional seagull that they captured. And it's a fascinating thing because there were 3 guys, and they were all pretty physically fit, right? Because they went down in an airplane, B-17 or B-24. They were fit young guys. And Zamperini and his friend, they were all friends, but his closer friend, they were active like mentally, and so they played mind games. They visualized elaborate meals that they would cook and eat. They would tell jokes. They would keep each other active, and they, all 3 of them. But the 3rd guy just wasn't having it because he was feeding the fear wolf. He didn't understand how important it was to maintain a positive mindset and to have belief that they could survive. The other 2 guys did. They had belief and they talked themselves positively. And the 3rd guy died. Literally, he killed himself with his mindset. Isn't that interesting? So they survive. Oh, then, by the way, they get strafed by a Japanese Zero, so they jump out of their raft and they get attacked by sharks. And so they're underneath the raft. They're getting machine gunned from the Zero. They're under the raft and they're getting attacked by sharks, and they have to have the poise and the mental fortitude to wait until the shark gets right up to their face, and they're punching the sharks in the nose. Okay, so the sharks go away, the Zero goes away. Guess what? They get captured the next morning by the Japanese and spend 3 years, brutally tortured in a POW camp.
Did they end up surviving?
And they survived, yeah. Well, they survived because at that time we were carpet bombing Tokyo and the place was falling apart, and literally the guards just walked away because society had broken down and they lost. But they were on, if it had gone, a few more months, it was touch and go because they were talking about killing all the Americans. Anyways, those are stories that you need to read, because especially you guys who want to be SEALs and, guys who just want to be tough or toughen up, have to understand how soft our society really has gotten. And it's not anyone's fault. It's just kind of like we've been cooked like a frog.